Have you ever wondered why, if you're in a big crowd, all of a sudden you might feel overwhelmed, or all of a sudden in another scenario, you just feel the need to retreat and hide? Or have you ever had people, random strangers, just come up to you and start sharing their life stories and even say, I'm not sure why I'm sharing all this with you because I don't even know you. Okay. So I have had all these things happen in my lifetime and more. And if you have any of these experiences, well, my dear, you might be an empath and you might even not know it. So, what I want to talk to you today about is the characteristics and traits of an empath. And these are some things that actually help me discover the fact that I'm an empath. What does that actually mean? How does that affect me? And what can I do from here on out? Okay. So I have some notes that I've written down through this journey of me discovering that I'm an empath, and I'm going to share some of those notes with you. Okay. So first things first, you want to understand that being an empath is a gift, okay? Not everyone can do what we can do, okay? And with being an empath, you are also a natural healer, okay? You tend to be that light in someone else's darkness, okay? So if you find a lot of people drawn to you and telling you, hey, I feel so good around you, that might be an indicator that you're an empath, okay? Um, we are also naturally able to pick up, sense, and feel what is going on with other people, okay? So, for example, I pick up very quickly if people are sad, angry, mad, frustrated, overwhelmed, like, because I can feel that, okay? And later on, I'm going to share with you how I discovered for myself how to distinguish if what I'm feeling is mine or it's actually someone else's. Okay. But we are naturally able to just sense the room and feel the vibe of the room, um, because that's just who we are. Okay. Now, when you're in a large crowd, okay, it can become overwhelming. Okay, you can be feeling guilty, and you can just want to remove yourself from that situation. And you might even avoid crowds completely. Okay, so if that's something that you notice about yourself, that when they're like, oh, let's go to a concert, oh, let's, do this or let's do that, where there are a lot of people around you, and you're like, no, thank you, I'm not a people person, that might be an indicator that you're an empath. Okay, so with that, if you are, now looking back and see, oh, I actually might be. What I'm suggesting for you to do now that you have this awareness, actually go in a crowd of people. Okay. And before that, just notice how it is that you're feeling before you arrive to the place, how it is that you're feeling during that place, if you still want to run and hide, if you start feeling anxious and overwhelmed and whatnot, and how you feel after you left that place. Okay. For me, for example, if I go in a place, I am usually calm. Like there's no ups and downs, there's no emotions, and I'm usually calm. Okay. Now, if I sense that I start get sad all of a sudden, or I get angry, or I get overwhelmed, or something like that, I can recognize that that's not my own, okay, and I can release that. So that's something that you can go ahead and start playing with. Just notice how you're feeling before and notice how you're feeling during, and that might be a clear indicator that you are an empath. Okay. Um, the other thing is that the negativity of others can cause you to feel anxious and experience sleeplessness. Okay, so again, taking on other people's stuff when you're not even aware that you're doing that might cause you to feel anxious, and that might actually be the reason why you have sleepless nights. Okay, so again, be very aware of that. And even at work, if you're surrounded with people that are negative, just notice, how does that make you feel? Do you feel anxious? Because if you do, it might be their anxiety that you're picking up on. It might not be your own. Okay. You often attract strangers who want to share their life stories with you. Okay. This actually happens to me a lot. Like, I have people that talk to me and they start crying, breaking down left, right, and center. And they're like, I don't know why I'm crying. Like, it's okay. You're not the first person to do that. And I have this effect on people. So I'm very aware that I'm an empath, and I'm very aware how other people perceive me. Okay. So, and I just give them the space. I just give them the space to talk, because not a lot of people, again, we as empaths have a very, very unique gift that we are able to be there for people and actually understand them and what they're going through. That's why people are just going to start sharing things in their life that they don't normally share with other people. So that's a very powerful thing that you can do for another human being, is just be there with them. Okay. Now, you often have the solution to their problems when they come to you, even before you will have a solution to your problems. Okay, so this is something that I find very, very funny, because you might already have a solution for their problem. That's why they're coming to you, because you have, and you might not have no clue how to go through your own problems, and that's fine. Okay, no one on this planet knows everything. Can you just imagine if you know everything on this planet? That's a lot. Okay. I wouldn't want to know everything on this planet. Okay. That's just me. It's okay if you don't know, and it's okay if you don't know and you help other people with what you do know. It's fine. Because once you will get your answers, you will have other people to help. But that does not mean that you cannot help people with what you've already experienced, if that makes any sense. Okay. Now, telepathically, you are able to pick up on other people's emotions. Okay, so we already covered that. But again, it's a very nice awareness to have that, hey, I do have this ability to pick up on other people's emotions. And even through Zoom calls, I can pick up the other person's emotions on the other side if I'm there with them live. Like, it's ridiculous. And I can do it. And I'm noticing that I can do that. And that's very powerful once you start to be aware of what it is that you actually can do with this. Okay. And here's the other thing. Here's how the other people perceive you, and they don't know why they're drawn to you. Okay. Because you have this bright light about you. And I've been told numerously that there's something about me that just attracts people to me. Okay. And people can visually see that bright light, that aura around you. People can see it sometimes. Okay. And it's usually like a neon sign above your head saying, I can help you. Okay. That's why people are naturally drawn to you. Okay. So don't be surprised if you have a lot of people that you don't even know just sharing their life stories with you. And 9 out of 10 times you will have an answer for them, or you can guide them some way to their answer. Okay. You also have a natural knowingness. Okay. That you can help them with their problems, and they know that. Okay. So what do I mean by natural knowingness? Okay. Is this thing that you know, and you have no clue how you know. Okay. That's the all knowingness. Like, I know it. Just like, here's an example. Okay. With all of my personal development training, let's not use that word, with all the transformation I've been a part in for almost 2 years, I started to have this knowing, like, okay, I hear this calling. It's calling me to LA. It's calling me to LA. Okay. I don't know how I know this. I just know it. And that's the main reason why now I live in LA. It's because of this knowing that I have to be in LA. It's just, I can't explain it. Okay. So that's how you know that you know. It's this natural knowing. Okay. Because if I can explain how do you know the phone case is red? Well, because I can see it and all that. So if there's any information around it, how do you know? That's not the knowing that I'm talking about. Okay. Or let's say you have a kid, right? And you just have this all of a sudden like feeling like, oh my God, something happened. Okay. Well, how do you know that? I can't explain how I know it, but I know I need to call this person. Okay. That's a natural knowing. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about. Okay. The other trait that you might have and you might even not notice is that you're a natural listener in a conversation. Okay. Because usually empaths are not given the opportunity to speak. Okay. So if you find yourself that, you're kind of very small in a conversation, retreated in a corner, that might mean that you're an empath. Now, does that mean that you're an empath in every case? No, that's not what I'm saying. Just notice all of these little traits and characteristics that I'm giving you, because after I discovered all of this, going back and how I used to behave, like, yep, I can see it. I can 100% see it. Okay. Okay. Also, because you're an empath, okay, it's very, very important for you to clear your energy field, okay, your aura. Okay, it's very, very important. And I'm going to give you a few ways that you can do that. Okay. Now, if you don't learn how to do this, you will start to isolate because you cannot deal with the negativity. Okay. I'm going to give you two clear examples, which when I discovered all this, like, holy cow, like that is why I was isolating. So in my last relationship, okay, we've been living together for 3 to 4 months, something like that. And we've been sleeping together and whatnot in the same bed. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I just can't be in the same bed with you. And I thought it was the bed. So what I did is I set up my own bed that I had with me in the spare room. And I noticed that I spent more and more time in the spare room away from him. And I wasn't aware of that. Why? Okay. I thought that it's the bed. I thought that, I'm diving into my business. I thought every other thing possible under the sun. Okay. When I look back at my ex, not this one, but the other one right before him, like, I started to do the same thing. Like, I started to see a pattern between him and my other ex. I'm like, that's weird. Okay. So I started asking myself, so what is it about that person that, I wanted some distance? And I know that he was a very negative person. I just couldn't deal with it. And that was the way that we were. Like, we were living in a trailer in the middle of nowhere. So like, okay, I'm gonna be in the bedroom, you go in the living room, be with the cats and do whatever you want. Okay. That was the excuse. I didn't know why my subconscious told me to do that, but that is why it told me to do that. So I'm discovering this because I'm recreating this over here. And in the moment, I didn't understand it. Now, this was again months after the relationship ended, and I started seeing the pattern and asking myself, like, why did I do that? And it was the same thing here that I found here. And I'm like, oh my God, it was the same thing. Like, he was a very negative person, even though this person was actually going through mindset stuff and whatnot. This other person was not. Even though this one was, he was still a very negative person. I picked up on that. And that's what created that rift. And I wasn't able to see it in that moment because I wasn't aware of it. And now when I found all of this about empaths and whatnot, And it says clearly that if you don't learn how to clean your aura from, your energy field from other people, you will, isolate. And like, holy, that's exactly what it did. And it made sense. I just didn't realize it in the moment because I wasn't aware. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And the other thing is that you don't need to make their pain your own in order to help someone. Okay. And this is a very big lesson for me because I tend to feel everyone's stuff. So that was an interesting discovery. Okay. Now, before I go into how it is that you're going to, clear your aura, there's other things I would like to share with you. So as an empath, you might avoid scary movies or even the news, which this is another aha moment for me. I haven't watched TV since I was 15 years old. Okay. The moment that my mom and dad split, dad went away, there was no TV in my house. Even currently, I do not have a TV. I don't listen to the radio. I don't listen to any type of news. If people don't tell me, hey, are you okay? Do you know that there's a hurricane coming with the last hurricane in LA? I wouldn't have known that there's a hurricane coming to LA. I don't watch the news. I don't watch the weather. Okay. So, and my life has been completely different just because of that. The other thing is, I do not watch scary movies, horror movies, thrillers. I just don't. I didn't know why. Now I do. Okay. The other thing is that when you attach to someone else's energy, you start to overthink. Okay. And try to figure out ways that you can solve their issue. Okay. And this one, I recognize I am not that savvy at recognizing if I'm trying to solve someone else's issue just because I'm energetically attached to them. So this, I'm clear it's something I have to work on and just be mindful of how I do that. Now, here's the thing for this. Your subconscious cannot understand, okay, that we cannot solve that problem because our natural tendency as a healer is to help. Okay. That's why you're caught in this loop of overthinking and overthinking and overthinking. And you just can't solve that problem. Okay. The other thing is that in attaching to someone else's suffering, this does not serve your highest good. Okay. Yes, you want to help. Yes, you want to do that to your best of your ability, but attaching your energy to theirs is not going to help you and it's not going to help them. Okay. The other things that I have found on the internet that might be of help to you, okay, is this little, let me see if I don't think I can. Okay. So I'm actually going to share my screen so you can see what I'm seeing. And there's a little other pieces that might be helpful for you to determine if you're an empath or not. Okay. So you cry when others cry. Okay. That might mean that you're an empath. You feel everything deeply. Okay. You have many highs and many lows. Okay, you're a natural healer. We already covered that one. You treat your pets like animals. Sorry, you treat your pets like humans. Not like animals, like humans. Okay. Your emotions have made you physically ill. And I have actually been able to do this with some of my relationships. Like my stomach was not okay. And I'm like, I do not want to feel like this. So I just got out of the relationship. So I have done this to myself. Your love is over the top. And I remember when I used to just really, really feel everything in its intensity. And it was just too much at times. You prefer deep conversations over small talk. That's a given with me. Like if we've ever talked, you would know that whatever we share goes really, really deep. okay? You observe emotions. We went over that. You overthink everything. Imagine that. Okay. We kind of went over why that would be. You're a good listener. Okay. You are a good listener because you're an empath. Okay. You want to be there for people. Okay. Commercials make you cry. Okay. That means that you might be an empath. The news is painful to watch. Okay. News, scary movies in the same realm. Okay. You're a human lie detector. No one can lie to you because you pick up on their energies. And this is so true with me. Like, I can smell you from a mile away if you're lying to me. That's why all of my ex-boyfriends did not like that. Okay. And any other friends or any other person that I come in contact with, I can tell if you're lying to me or not. Okay. You put others above your own needs. Okay. That's kind of a given with us empaths. Okay. You're highly sensitive. Okay. Highly sensitive. Okay. Social situations leave you physically drained. Remember the crowds that we were talking in the beginning? That's the thing. Okay. You pick up on vibes instantly. Okay. And again, it doesn't have to be from it can be on a phone call conversation. Like I do that. It can be phone call conversation. It can be in-person conversation. It can be a Zoom thing. I pick up on things very easily. And people are like, how did you know that? Are you reading my mind? Stop, get away, get out of my mind and stuff like I've been told that. Okay. Friends often ask you for advice. Okay. If you're the person that everyone goes to, that might be a sign that you're an empath. You worry about what other people think of you. Okay. And you feed off of others' energy. Okay. So I remember when I was very, very young, I first started this whole relationship thing. Okay. I was basically flowing how the other person flowed, and I didn't know that I'm an empath back then. So that thing over there is a huge aha and eye-opening moment for me. Okay. Now, before I go into sharing some things that you can do to clean your aura and be you and not take on other people's energies, I want to share something that I went through recently that's right up this alley. Okay. So I was recently planning to attend an event and actually staff it. And it was on a Friday that I had a flight out. And on the Thursday, right before that, Thursday night, I had a panic attack. Okay. I never had a panic attack in my life. Okay. And it was very, very dense, very dark. I never felt this before. I just instantly start crying. Like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just crying. And it went on for hours, and I couldn't figure out where the root cause of it is. Like, is it because everything that I tried to do was not working. Like, I just can't understand what's going on. So I contacted one of my mentors, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done with all of this. I don't want to go to Texas. I don't want to do this. Someone else can be a healer. I don't have to build this big vision and whatnot. I'm done. Okay. And then he just texted me back this one liner, and it said, like, sounds like something I was going through not that long ago. Like, well, at least I'm not the only one. Okay. So the next day when I had a conversation, now he did manage to give me some questions and look into some stuff, and it was some of my own things. But when I talked to my ex-roommate the next day, she said that I might be picking up on everyone else's energy that is supposed to be on this event. Okay. And I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. Okay. Because yes, I didn't cover something for me. And at the same time, there's no reason for it to be so intense. Okay. So when we actually arrive at the ranch and the classes start with this group, after the first day, the facilitators, sat the staff down. I was included in them. and they said that this is a particularly heavy group. And then my thought was like, yeah, no kidding. Tell me about it. Okay. Now, the thing is that I already knew at that point that I'm an empath, and I already knew that I was already picking up on everyone else's energy prior to that. Okay. So, what I'm going to go into is some practices on how you can, first of all, work on your awareness. Okay, work on your awareness. Make sure that you're aware, first of all, that you're an empath. If you're an empath, I'm going to give you some practices that you can do to make sure that you are there for people, but don't take in their energy and don't retain it and try to process it for them. Okay. So, first of all, cleaning and protecting your energy field is honoring your body and your gifts. Okay, so you're doing it as a service if you're not doing this. Okay. Now, whenever you feel frustrated, ignored, unsettled, whenever it's not you, whenever you don't feel like you, it's someone else's energy. Okay. So here's what I do. Okay. And this I do every night before going to bed. Okay. I just imagine myself that I am sitting on a rock. It's kind of a small little cliff. And I see a waterfall coming down, not that far from me. And then it goes into a pool of water. Okay. And I'm just sitting on that rock, kind of in a meditative position. And then when I feel ready, I dive into the water. Okay. And I submerge myself. I imagine I'm submerged in the water. Okay. Once I'm there, I just start telling myself this. Okay. With the love and intention of the universe, I release all of the things that are not mine, all of the energies that are from other people and do not serve me. Okay. And as I keep repeating this, I imagine some black thing going out from me into the water. Okay. Just keep on saying this until I don't see that anymore. Okay. Once that's complete, then what I do is I just imagine myself swimming under the waterfall, and then I come out from under the water and I just feel the waterfall on me. And I imagine, and I say this to myself, I'm replenishing myself with this shield, and I imagine this shield around me, going up around me. Okay. And I'm just imagining this shield being built. Okay. And this shield is going to allow me to be me and be there for other people, but not take their energies in. Okay. Now, because I know how to do that, okay, that is one thing that really helped me throughout the week that I was in Texas. Because again, this was a particularly heavy group, and with all the exercises that they did, I could really feel their energies. And when I felt their energies, I just released it. Okay. So the way that I knew that it's someone else's energy is if you're in anywhere where you start to feel cold all of a sudden, just know that that's not cold that you're feeling. That's energy passing through your body, and it might not even be yours. Okay, because if you're not actively working on something, it might not be yours, and you can just release it and let it go. So when they were doing the activities, I could feel that like, it's getting cold in here. So what I do is just shake it off. Okay, shake it off. And if I don't have the room to shake it off, like I just close my eyes and say, release it. It's not mine, let it go. It's not mine, let it go. And then I literally feel myself calming down, because I feel myself ramping up. Like I realize it's not me, and I feel myself calming down. Okay. And as the intensity kept growing and growing and growing, the other thing that I imagine myself doing is this shield that I envisioned around me. I was like, okay, let's up that up a bit. Okay, shield level 3, shield level 20, shield level 30. Okay, and I visually imagine that thickness of the shield being thicker and thicker and thicker. Okay. By the time we were done on this particular day with whatever they were doing, I had to up my shield to 150. And I did not take in their energies. Like, visualization is so powerful for this. It's so powerful. Awareness, visualization, and all those practices are very, very powerful. Okay. The other thing that helps you not keep on other people's energy is movement. Okay. Movement helps the body let go. So if you like to walk, go walking. If you like to go hiking or whatnot. But movement helps your chi core energy to regenerate. Okay. Also, I am statements ignite the soul. Okay. So for example, I am releasing the anxiety within me that doesn't serve me. Okay. The other thing is that you can talk to your body. Okay. You can say something like along the lines, Christina, that anxiety no longer serves you. Okay. You are no longer allowed to experience anxiety on this level. Okay. You can talk to your body. You can tell it what to do. Okay. The other thing that I have seen that helped me throughout this week was journaling. Okay. Journaling the thoughts from the day, because I've taken in so much from me, not from other people, was I've experienced stuff. Okay. And I noticed that if I didn't put it down on paper, it would be with me and I couldn't sleep well at night. Okay. So I journaled. Doesn't matter how tired I was, I journaled every night. And then I slept like a baby. I really did. I slept like a baby. And the other thing that I have picked up from someone else that was there, he advised me to take a shower right before going to bed. Okay? And in that shower, basically imagine the same thing that I imagine when I'm in the waterfall. Okay. Because water is cleansing, water is purifying, water, releases everything. So what I did, when I was in the classes and with the people, and I felt like, all of a sudden chills or whatnot, okay, that's not mine. Let's release that. I was very aware that's not mine, someone else's. When it was mine, I could feel it because, oh, this is coming from this event and whatnot. That's how I know it's mine. But when it comes all of a sudden and I have no clue why it's there, that is not mine. Okay. So I was very aware of that. And then at night, first thing I did is shower, then journal, then go to bed, slept like a baby. Okay. The other things that I have been told to do by other empaths, okay, is first of all, take baths and take lots of baths. Okay. And if you can take baths with ocean water, that's even better. I haven't gotten there yet just because I'm collecting all these other herbs that is going to help me even more, apparently. But even if you don't have that, just a bath with Epsom salt does wonders for you. It really does. Okay. The other thing that you can do if you want to take it up a notch, you can do sweet and sour baths. Okay. So I might make another video on that later, just because this is already such a long video. Okay. But you can do sweet and sour baths. You can put in ocean water in there. And the other thing that I've been told is to get this book. I haven't started reading it yet, but it has been recommended to me. So it's the Empath Survival Guide. Okay. And this is a book actually written by an empath for other empaths. So that is why it attracted me to that. Like, oh yes, I need to know how to be an empath and not be there for people, but not take everyone's stuff in. Okay. Yeah, journaling is really, really good. And I think that's it. Yeah. So again, we've discussed some of the characteristics and traits of an empath. You might have one, you might have many. As I went through all these things that I discovered, like, oh, I can see where I did that. Oh, I can see where I did that. So if you can trace it back to some of the things that you did, that's an even bigger bonus for you, because awareness comes first, right? Once you're aware, then you know how to discover that in the moment. Like if you're getting chills all of a sudden, you're calm, that might be a sign it's not yours, and just tell yourself to let it go. It's not mine, let it go. That's usually what I say. It's not mine, let it go. Okay? And it's gone. I literally feel myself calm again. And then there's a lot of these practices that you can do. And I've actually went into a crystal shop or whatnot. Yeah, it's crystals, incense, and stuff like that. Very, very spiritual. And they have there a soap that is an aura cleansing soap. Okay. So you can even have stuff like that. I do that not that often, but when I feel very, very heavy, I use that soap and just do a thorough cleanse. And the other thing is that what I'm going to start doing now, which I've already done for this month, I'm going to start doing it at the beginning of every month, is smudge the place, like smudge my house. And I have a smudge of dragon blood with sage, with white sage, and I just walk around the house and I just say whatever it is that, let the negative energy go out and let the positive energy come in, because again, everything is energy and energy moves around. Okay, just because of I'm in four walls, it does not mean that the energy is not going to come in anymore. Okay, so that's one practice that I'm going to keep on doing from here on out, not only to make sure that my body is cleansed of other people's energy, but also the space that I am in. So hopefully that has been helpful for you. And if you are an empath and this video helped you in any way, shape, or form to figure that out, let me know in the comments. I would be very happy to see what it is that you discover. So that was all for today, and I'll see you in another video. Take care.